everybody. It is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in on a very big question, or rather, I'm really getting a number of questions in on really how to utilize some tools with how to cope with a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. We have a viewer who has discovered that he's in a relationship with a female psychopath and he now has a child with this person. So as you can see, there are times and situations you might work with this person. This person might be in your family. You might be wedded, or you might need to beginning to make new choices, new decisions for your future. Now that you've discovered that you are in a very terrible and horrible situation, very scary to be in a relationship with these types of people because of the amount of energy with which the etheric energy that surrounds them can be so negative, so volatile, and so attractive to people, meaning magnetic, and meaning kind of a toxic energy field around these individuals where you can feel a projection of what we call their aura, the energy that surrounds their body, which is very negative, very distracting. And so we really want to focus in on tools on how to deal with this very negative, pathological, and oftentimes psychopathic individual, and dealing with the energy that emanates from them. And I'll have you understand that if you are coping, if you are tolerating this individual, you are not celebrating your life. If you find that this person, gives you comments like, well, we have to put up with you. I mean, you're being tolerated in this situation. You're not being celebrated in this situation. And you need to, for one, the ideal is to get away from this person. If you've never had to get away from a person before, well, this might be the first person that you literally need to get away from. You need to leave. You need to move. You need to get away. And, a lot of people say, well, how do I detach? Well, let's really get into more tools about this, because it becomes very, very scary, and it's very life-changing, and it can really destroy people. In other words, they cannot think clearly. They cannot behave clearly. They cannot feel clearly. They cannot feel happy. They cannot feel the feeling of joy. They can't, smile. They can't jump up and down, and they can't say yay, and they can't go, oh my God, that's so awesome. That's so excellent. For one, you need to realize that this is the power control that they want to have over people. Why? Because these individuals take pleasure. They have an insatiable need, not a want, but an ongoing need to harm, hurt, and destroy people. They need to get that reaction. They need to see people down. They need to see people hurt. They need to see people destroyed. They need to see people giving them negative attention, i.e. reactions. If the light is on you, you're happy, you're doing something beautiful, you're doing something amazing, you've just had a child, you just got a puppy, you just scored a goal, you just got a house, you just got engaged, you just did something wonderful, they are going to flip it around and say, you just did something awful. You just did something horrible. You are not the man that you think you are. You are not the woman that you think you are. In other words, you have a genuine achievement, a genuine accomplishment, a part of your character which you feel good about, you feel positive. That is what they are, like a bow and arrow, going to be shooting for. And these people have cocked the bow several times. They do this daily. They do this every second. They do this every minute. They do this every hour. They do this while you're sleeping. They do this while you're showering. They do this while you're eating. You are constantly going to be at the end of the cocked arrow. I mean, they have quivers walking around with, I don't know what you call it, an arrow holder, a quiver, whatever you call it. I mean, they have and they have a never-ending supply of arrows. Have you ever heard of a bellows? Like one of those things that you can create the fire with? That is what they were like, but trying to put you out. Put your fire out. Put your passion out. It's like instead of the other way, like a bellows. And I use a lot of analogies because I want you to feel and experience this, because it's an energetic understanding for you to really, change the game up and get in your mind, but get in your emotional body what it feels, smells, tastes like. Do you see what I'm saying? So it is like, if you've ever seen a bellows is, it's got like two wood handles and it's got like a little spout at the end. And people have this, in their, back in the day when you used to have like, fireplaces and had, maybe, fire burning stoves, like, or, wood burning stoves to heat the water for your house. I mean, it's really interesting, really nostalgic. But, and then, or for the fireplace, like, now people just pour, lighter fluid on things and poof, but it's different, because fire needs oxygen to burn. Passion is very much the same way. Happiness is very much the same way. Joy and bliss is very much the same way. Your life fulfillment is very much the same way. You need positive oxygen. You need to oxygenate your blood. You need to have that like heartbeat, and your body, starts to kind of get a pop in the step, and things are going great. You're more energy than matter. Neurochemically, and neuroscientists like Dr. Joe Dispenza have understood that, when you're in the state, you're entering the quantum field. You're entering the field of possibilities. You're entering that positive etheric space, which is an energetic space where basically a lot of information and knowledge exists. Also, like the Akashic Records, the great library of information that is stored within the human being, which we just know really the tip of the iceberg about. But when you begin to, enter into here, you are in this positive space. You're in your positive B space. You're in your dream space. You're in your solution making space. All of a sudden you have the breakthrough of energy. I can clean my house. I can pick that up. I can meet these people. I can now relate to people. I can, kiss a baby. I can hug a puppy. These are the sort of things. I can cut out pictures. I can become a photographer. This is when your I am begins to become created. Now, when you're in that space, the malignant narcissist is going to target that, and they're going to look at violating your boundaries, i.e. your trust barrier, and they're going to, rather than the bellows, of giving you air, giving you space, giving you support, giving you oxygen, they're like the opposite. It's like a vacuum. So a bellows, which you can constantly just do this with, and it fans, the fire. You can even do this with, your hands, and you can feel the positive energy coming off of your hands. They are negatively doing this. So there's a negative energy, a negative, i.e., like we call the psychopath, the intraspecies predator. They are looking to prey upon people. They have their arrow cocked. They have their scope of their gun, zooming in. They are focusing. They will do this to other people, but sometimes people find themselves in a relationship or very much the target of these individuals. You're in the scope of this person. The arrow is constantly cocked. And so realize that it's like the opposite of the bellows. Rather than fanning your energy, they're withdrawing the energy. They're taking it out. You can literally feel the transfer of positive energy away. It's almost, to equate it to things, it's like a black hole where energy just goes, it just disappears. Like your energy, all of a sudden when you're around them, it disappears. You can energetically feel the pull of it. That is the etheric energy. That is the invisible energy, or some people say it's the Holy Spirit. If you've ever felt in the presence of a Holy Spirit, I want you to recall that and realize that that is positive. And you need to recall this. You need to really look upon that very frequently. And as I recommend, writing your positive feelings into your binder. We're going in depth here. The day minder, as we've said, it's really important for you to have when you're really, we're talking about serious healing work here, people. We're talking about really getting there and getting there for good, getting there for life. This is not a temporary fix. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a solution. And I am giving you the answers. Why? Because there's not enough answers out there, and we need to have a place for you to do this. Life is too precious to waste, and your life is too precious to waste. It's time to get with the program here. So you need to, get a day minder, and really where it has, the dates, where you have, I have several of these, but, where you can literally write in. And I want you to, if you are really in the thick of it, or you are really living with this person, you have a child with this person, you need to schedule in times for you to get away and be positive. I call this also the recovery date, but you need to write it in. You need to actually get a pen. This is not a big, huge investment. You need to get a pen. You need to get a day minder. And you need to write in and focus in times for you to feel inspired, to feel in presence of the Holy Spirit, to feel guided, to get into your happy space. Whatever you call it, I'm going to call it the recovery journal or the recovery date. You can call it time for your happy space, time to feel the Holy Spirit, time to experience the awesome, time to experience the mystical, time to honor the abundance. Whatever it is that gets you going, your passion, your oxygen. Maybe you're just going to call it an oxygen date. Maybe you're going to call it meditation. Maybe you're going to call it time for your spirituality. Maybe you call it me time. It's time for you, for your body to get into that space. And if you are around people like this, it's like you need to, some people call it recharging your batteries. You need to actually get into a space where you can do this, and you need to write it in. You need to get into a calendar, and you need to write this in, if not daily, at least one time a week for 2 hours. So what are we going to call it? Me time, your oxygen date, your recovery date, time for you to get in, witness the awesome. And I want you to write in, if it sounds quirky, if it sounds odd, excellent. You are on the right path, because you are changing up your neural wiring, your neural circuitry, which has been programmed or, tainted by this negativity. And you need to take pen in hand, because this is kinesthetic. This is using the muscles, and this is using the higher centers of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, the ability to think and plan and enter into that etheric energy, that, new future, whatever you want to call it, the future, your better feelings, your new you, the positive space. This is not only about coping, this is about really celebrating. And, let's just say, witness the awesome date. Okay. And you have 2 hours blocked out. Witness the awesome. If you don't have a recovery journal, you need to get this. You need to order it. You need to go to eBay. You need to go to wherever, Amazon, and order these. And you need to schedule in witness the awesome. Witness the awesome date. And this for you might mean different things. This might mean going to a church. This might mean going to a hardware store. This, this is supposed to be outside of your ordinary, where you get away and you can think and you can plan and you can be away from this individual, some, sanity time where you're not getting the ruminations, the flashbacks, that whole negative space, because you have not given yourself enough of this time. You have not given yourself time to feel this and be supported by other people in this space. You've become isolated. So witness the awesome date. It might mean taking a walk to a botanical garden. It might mean going and looking at a skyscraper. It might mean, taking a tour to the 100th floor of a building and seeing, life from a new perspective, seeing how grand, a beautiful, you might need to go and take a hike up of a local mountain. You might need to take a bus ride to a city. You might need to take a bus ride to the country. You might need to say, I'm just going to go to a home repair center, and I'm going to repair my bathroom. I'm going to, go and fix up my bathroom. I'm going to get all new paint in there, or I'm going to get all new accessories, or I'm going to get all new shower curtain. Whatever it is, the experience, the awesome, whatever that means for you in that day. And it's going to change week to week. You might need to go rock hunting, rock climbing. You might need to go find some seashells and create some little knickknacks with gluing these things and painting these things. You might need to, go gold hunting or whatever it is. There's specific areas you might need to go and plan to see a national monument, a really magnificent part of your area, or maybe plan in a new area of the country. But plan you must, and do you must, and you must write it in, and you must back yourself up. Because if you are coping with this individual, you are going to be in that cope state. In other words, your defense mechanisms are constantly going to be up. So other tools, and this is becoming now into the 15 minutes, so I hope you're following me. Other tools, if you need to associate with this individual, if you are still in the environment with a psychopath, you need to stop giving them eye contact. That's what I said. You need to stop giving them eye contact. You need to stop giving them, frontal areas of your body. You need to, look over their shoulder. You need to look up in their forehead. You need to look in their hairline, upper ear, upper shoulder. You do not give them eye contact. You do not mirror their body. You do not begin to use the motor neurons, which help you empathically connect with them. No more. You need to now begin to really engage in what we call the pattern interrupt, where if this person begins to make comments to you, you need to then ask questions in return, or you need to speak on a slightly different topic. In other words, what's a good example? People love when we give examples. Let's just say they're doing the negative comments or the lies, or they're putting on their facade, and they're being completely fake, because the psychopath is nothing but a facade. Everything that they do, whether it's the way that they are with their children, the way they are with their job, the way they are with their family, it is all a facade. And most people can't even comprehend the depth at which they pretend to be. I mean, it is jaw-dropping. It is horrendous. It is horrible. And really, it's as if vaporish. It's very vaporish. So you need to realize you are dealing with a vaporous or vaporous energy, and this is not a real human being. So what you see is not what you get. You need to then begin to change your thought patterns. So those feelings that you get on your recovery date, you need to also realize that your word is bond and your word is law. So your verbalizations need to be very objective, fact-based. Don't try to brag to them. Don't try to show up their energy. Don't try to match their energy. Don't try to impress them. Be almost subhuman with them. In other words, yes or no. Act as if, your words, if you feel like you're acting crazy around them, perfect. You are doing the right thing. It's time for a radical change, which means a complete 360, time and time again that you need to change. And if you have, discussions with them, and they're trying to pull you in, begin to be very self-composed and come into a meditative state, and just begin to kind of ask questions that are really off topic. So if you feel yourself getting sucked in or hoovered in, or, how should we try to work this out? For example, might be a question. And then so you might say, my work has me working it out. I mean, just, something that doesn't really make sense almost, but something that is, affirmative to you, and, you're not really looking at them. Your body is not really facing to them. You don't need to give them respect. This person has outright not shown you respect. So you do not need to give them respect, but you don't need to be disrespectful. So changing your body, changing your tone, making your words, responses in 10 to 15 words, no more. And if you need to get a mediator, if it's gotten to the point of a divorce, you need to get a lawyer. You need to get a mediator to interface, because they are really going to try, certain times it can be very severe, and your life can be in complete hell, complete ruins. completely financially bankrupt, emotionally bankrupt, you need to get some professional help. These videos are wonderful, and I do have clients. You need to get into a state where you are now asking questions rather than just reacting or responding, and you need to do it in an off-topic sort of way. What are some other examples? I will go into another video on this with more tools, but I really do hope that these videos help. And if you have any other specific questions, please do leave the questions down below, and we can explore in more depth and detail. These are some very general solutions that I want you to utilize and really will help protect your energy, your personality, your engagement with this person. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help you. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. And yes, your donations are always so very welcome. Thank you.